Who really owns America's farmland? We need to talk about something that should make every American pay attention. This isn't political theater. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is about who controls the land that grows your food. The picture you have is wrong. You drive past those cornfields and picture a weathered farmer in overalls, third generation steward of his grandfather's land. Red barn, pickup truck, salt of the earth, Americans feeding America. That picture is folklore now. A ghost story we tell ourselves while the ground beneath our feet changes hands. Here's what's actually happening. According to the USDA, 80% of rented farmland, that's 283 million acres. 30% of all farmland is owned by non-operator landlords, people who own agricultural land but aren't farming anything. Let that sink in. The people who own the land don't work it, don't know it, have never broken a sweat on it. Between 2004 and 2014, foreign investors doubled their American farmland holdings from 13.7 million to 27.3 million acres. That's the size of Tennessee. The value jumped from $17.4 billion to $42.7 billion in the same period. The land isn't getting more fertile, it's getting more valuable as an investment. And when something becomes an investment, you know who shows up to buy? The billionaire land grab. Bill Gates has become America's largest private farmland owner, not because he suddenly developed a passion for agriculture, not because he wants to honor family farming. He's on record for saying we shouldn't eat beef unless it's lab grown. He just won an appeal to buy 2,100 more acres in North Dakota. House Agriculture Committee members are asking questions. They want him to testify before Congress. When a tech billionaire who promotes synthetic meat owns more farmland than anyone else in America, there's a strategy behind it. The foreign threat is real. China already owned over 191,000 acres of U.S. lands before acquiring an additional 300 acres in North Dakota. That's not counting shell companies, that's undisclosed purchases. A House committee voted to block China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran from farm purchases in June 2022. But no law has passed yet, no enforcement, just talk while the land changes hands. It's not just China. Canada, Netherlands, Italy, Germany, foreign entities now control nearly 40 million acres of American farmland. That's roughly the size of Iowa and Connecticut combined. Some of these purchases are near military bases, near water supplies, near critical infrastructure. You don't need to be an expert to see the problem there. The regulatory stranglehold. While foreign buyers and Wall Street firms buy up farmland, American farmers are getting buried in regulations. The Inflation Reduction Act, buried on page 529, contains provisions to pay farmers not to farm. $20 million through programs designed to take land out of production. The Conservation Reserve Program exists specifically to cut greenhouse gas emissions by giving farmers incentives to stop growing food. I'm not against conversation, but when you're paying people not to produce food while simultaneously allowing foreign adversaries and billionaires to control your food supply, you're not thinking clearly. You're inviting disaster. What this means for you. When farmland becomes a financial asset instead of a food source, priorities shift. Investment firms and corporations want monoculture. Huge plots growing only corn or soybeans. Maximum profit, minimum diversity. They want commodity crops they can sell into global markets. They don't care about soil health. They don't care about community food security. They don't care if your grandkids can afford to eat. The median age for American farmers is about 55. The next 5 years, some 92 million acres will change hands. Most of it won't go to young farmers trying to start out. It'll go to whoever can write the biggest check. Government subsidies meant to support the American farmer, they're padding the portfolios of investments funds and absentee landlords, not the people actually growing your food. Bottom line, we're in a situation where a handful of billionaires and foreign entities can decide to stop farming the land, lobby Congress for their own grain, push out small farms, and control our nation's food supply. That's not secure. That's not sustainable. That's not a position any nation concerned with its future should tolerate. What you can do. First, educate yourself. Stay aware of what's happening at national and state levels. Talk to your local farmers. Find out who actually owns the land around you. Second, take action for your own food security. Start a garden, even a small one, even just herbs in your kitchen. Invest in Heirloom Seeds. Learn to grow real food that can regenerate itself. Stock emergency food supplies. When the supply chain breaks, it will break. You need to be ready. Support local farmers directly. Farmers markets, CSAs, direct purchases. Third, make your voice heard. Contact your representatives. Demand laws that protect American farmland from foreign ownership. Demand regulations that support farmers, not to bury them. The hard truth. Food is freedom. When you control the food supply, you control the people. It's that simple. Right now, we're surrendering that control, not through invasion, not through war, through quiet purchases and regulatory suffocation. The threat to America's farmers and farmland isn't abstract. It's happening right now, acre by acre, regulation by regulation. You can't rely on government or corporations to protect your food security. You can only rely on yourself. Plant seeds, store food, learn skills, build resilience. Because when things fall apart, the people who can feed themselves will be the only ones still standing. Stay aware, stay prepared, stay free. Look, I know this is heavy. I know it's uncomfortable to hear, but that's exactly why we need to talk about it. Ignorance doesn't protect you. It only makes you a target. If this information hit you hard, good. That means you're paying attention. Share this video with someone you know, and I highly recommend to go read the article from MyPatriotSupply.com. This isn't about fear. This is about freedom, and freedom requires action. Thanks for watching. If you found value here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm putting out content that cuts through the noise and gives you the truth you need to stay informed about decisions.